10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hey guys, welcome to episode 35 of Stadium Connect North. I haven't been here in a few episodes. Maurice is keeping me busy. He's so demanding, but here I am today in an interview. And today with me, I've got Mr. John Scar. How are you doing, John?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you. And then
I hear that Maurice has taken up a new profession there, gambling or something like that.
Yeah, and I've heard that he's been losing pretty badly, so hopefully he does better, right? Like,
Yeah.
Or else he'll need to rent a room in my apartment if he doesn't stop. And other than that, we got MM2K here. How are you doing, MM2K?
Hey, what's going on, Maurice? Hey, Ninja Guy, how's it going, brother? Good to see you. Good to see you as always.
Yeah. Nice. So you have a podcast coming up.
Yes, we're gonna do a podcast. I'm gonna try to do my best rendition of Ninja Guy X. So we'll see. So it's either gonna go off well or it's gonna fall completely apart. So
awesome. So before we start talking about the interview, I'd just like to say hi to everyone in the chat. We've got Miss T22, Bruce, Granite Rock, Stadia Adventure, he made it, Zarina, Peter Games, Simpleton, Lo-Fi Monk, Ray, and I've saw other people here at the beginning too. We've got a lot of people. Welcome everyone. And yes, before we start also, John would like to talk about I think a little contest that we have before, right?
No. Yeah, we have a giveaway. We're giving away 5 copies of the Deathrun TV soundtrack.
Oh wow!
So the bot should be advertising that soon if it hasn't already. To enter, hashtag Deathrun TV, all one word. I'm checking the bot here now. Yep, Deathrun TV, and get your entries in here, and we'll be giving those away during the interview here.
Awesome. So before we introduce our special guest, I noticed that he just ran out of the door quickly. So, here he is back. Okay. Awesome. So it's today, the interview is all about Deathrun TV, and
yes,
and it's all about Rob. The happy things you do.
What a lovely introduction.
Right? Yeah. Nice to see you here, Rob. Thank you very much for joining in. We really appreciate you taking some time to.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So, before I start, I'd just like to tell you, I'm very excited about Deathrun TV. It's super up my alley. I love twin stick shooters. I love games such as Enter the Gungeon. Super Smash TV. Games. So very hyper to give it a try.
Oh, great! Yeah, well, it was certainly a journey making it.
Nice.
We were playing Nuclear Throne in our office for a year straight when we were making another game, and we're like, I really want to make a game like this, with our own little spin on it. And I think we just kept dreaming about that, and then when the opportunity came up, that's when we started.
Nice. Okay, I can't wait to
Awesome.
hear more about the game, because I'm so excited about it. But before we get ahead of ourselves, we're gonna go ahead and ask you some earlier things about you and your company. So can you introduce yourself for those who don't know you, and tell us a little bit about the history of Laserdog Games?
Yeah, sure thing. So I'm Rob. I work at Laserdog Games, and we're a two-man team. And I work with a guy called Simon. I started making games on my own when I was working as a web developer, web designer, developer kind of role. And I decided I wanted to learn how to make games, and I made some pretty rubbish games. And I posted one of them on Reddit, and it hit the front page of Reddit, and it got quite a bit of traction, and it was really, really exciting for me. Like, I remember just sitting on the sofa, replying to these lovely comments on Reddit, and just being absolutely blown away by it. And in the meantime, Simon owned a web design company, and he desperately wanted to start making games because he loves games. You know, we all love games. And he didn't have any programming knowledge, and he searched on Twitter. I think he found me on Twitter. You know, a programmer, game developer looking for an artist, and he's an artist looking for a programmer. And we met at a pub. I think we were both driving, so we had a pint of Coca-Cola. So we had loads of sugar and caffeine, but we talked about Metal Gear Solid 3, I think.
Oh,
you know, the bit
man.
of Metal Gear Solid 3 when you climb up the ladder for ages.
Yeah, with the song there.
Yeah. Snake Eater. Yeah.
What a thrill. Yeah.
Oh, so good.
Oh,
So we
yeah.
talked about that for a while, and we just clicked, and we worked, you know, evenings and weekends while we still had jobs for about a year and a half, I think it was. And then I don't know if you've seen our game called Alone, but that's the one where we released it. We decided that just enough money's coming in for us to quit our jobs and take the risk to make the next game.
Oh, okay.
Which was Hoppico. And Hoppico was a great game to make, and we were able to carry on going for I think that was about 6 years ago. So yeah, and now still a two-man team, and just finished Deathrun TV, and our biggest game to date.
Excellent.
Wow.
It's very interesting to hear that you, the two of you, Simon and you, didn't know each other before starting the company, because usually when you hear a two-man team starting a company, you know, they've been childhood friends, or they've been, you know, in college working together. But that's very interesting. It's the first time I hear something like that. So it's cool that the chemistry between you two just continue on for many years, and you know, it's still going on. So
yeah, we've practically lived together this last 6 years. I think we see more of each other than we have of our families.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's amazing. So I bet that you guys are practically best friends by now, right? Like,
oh, of course, yeah. We you know, we go to the pub after work every now and again, and you know, we go play pool, and we did a what's called a banger rally, where we drove a car worth £500 from the top of the UK right down to the bottom of the UK, on a ferry into Spain, all the way south to Spain to Portugal, and then all the way back south to Spain to Gibraltar. And it took 5 days.
Amazing! Wow.
You know, we spent a lot of time together outside of work as well as inside.
Good memories. Yeah. So, can you tell us where the name Laserdog Games comes from?
Well, that was actually something Simon came up with before we met. And I believe it was a fictional name. Oh no, it was a name for a fictional techno band he had. It was just a random name.
Wow.
So like Simon's actually started and registered the company before we met all that time ago.
Wow.
It's crazy. Yeah. Wow. So, well, I mean, it's a pretty badass name, so I gotta agree that it's you know, it was a good decision to do that one. Serena here has a question. I'm not sure if you typically answered it, but she's asking, what are the names of some of these rubbish games? They don't sound too rubbish. So the games that you know, that we were talking about on Reddit before.
Yeah. Well, when I say rubbish games, it's because, well, I'm not an artist, and I was doing this on my own as a learning experience to learn how to program. So there were rubbish, but you know,
Right.
I think the only one with video evidence out there was one called Stay Alive, and that's the one that got featured on Reddit, and it was like a side-scrolling space shooter. So you'd be on the side of the screen, and that's what that game is actually what inspired Laserdog's game Alone.
Oh wow!
Well, that's it came from that really. But yeah, that game. I had no experience with any of this, and that got featured on American TV thanks to Reddit.
Oh my gosh!
Oh geez!
Blew my mind that could happen. I was like, that's some music I made playing on the TV. Couldn't believe it.
I can't imagine.
Awesome.
Yeah. The next step for you, that I heard that blow Dev's mind, is to have your game in physical edition. So I hope that eventually you can get a game like that.
Fingers crossed.
Right. Yeah. With Deathrun TV, that'd be amazing.
Yeah.
So next up, we were wondering. So we've heard that Laserdog is kind of a bit in a financial trouble. We talked about it in the background, and when we put it on Twitter and everything. Can you tell us a little bit of detail about that? What's happening? What's the situation with the company?
Yeah, sure. It's the way like kind of game development works, especially for just a two-man team. So when you make a game, you are spending the proceeds of the last game.
Yes.
So so it's all borrowed time. It's always a stress because you don't know where the money's going to come from. And we have been working with publishers for the last 3 years. So that's really great because, we get financial support and, you get to collaborate with some really great teams. But the problem for us was we were so busy trying to get these games done and perfect that we neglected our back catalogue. We did not have the room to touch it. And in this time as well, I had another child join my family. Now my son was born. So, time was very, very limited. So when we were on Deathrun TV, well, first of all, when we signed to do Deathrun TV, we were already in a bit of a state.
Pickle, yeah.
We spoke to Merge. We had to get the idea for the game. Merge were great. They were excited about the game. We signed with them. We're like, okay, we're clear. We're going to be good. We'll get this game done in like 7 months, and it'll be great. We worked with Deathrun. Merge is keeping us going because they're funding the development of it, and everyone was so excited about the game. It's like scope creep. We kept adding more and more features. Like they would have. We would have more features. We'd have these meetings just like this, and we're like, "Oh my god, it'd be so good if like this happened."
Mistake.
There's 2 bits in my head. One, oh my god, that's cool, and the other part's going, "That's about 2 months coding." So we overran by quite a lot, and the guys at Merge were great. We basically were just on a rolling contract we were way over what we agreed to do. And when we finished it, we were so exhausted. And, that's the end of the contract. And we were like, well, I can't pay my mortgage. I can't pay my rent.
Oh, gosh.
June or so. What are we going to do? So that was that. We had about a week or 2 of real panic where we just did not know what to do. And you guys... were great.
Well, speaking of that, so for the people who doesn't know, the Stadia community jumped in and tried to help out by buying your current games, current soundtracks. The soundtracks you can actually donate whichever amount that you want on them, and that's what people did. So the question is, did that help make an impact with the studio? And will you, as a studio, be able to carry on? So what happened during these certain events that we kind of help out and stuff?
Yeah, well, it was incredible. I think me and Simon probably shed a couple of tears when that was going on because we had a really rough week, and we didn't really know what to do. And I think I put on Twitter that I'm looking for a job
Oh wow.
because I didn't know what to do, and then this very generous, like almost like fundraising thing started, and we saw someone bought the soundtrack for Deathrun TV for £600,
Yes.
and then more came in, and we were like, oh, we could pay to keep the business going for probably another month, which gives us a month breathing space. That means we can finish the bugs and any other features that need adding to Deathrun. And it gave us a lot of hope. And it was one of our favorite moments in our whole career. It was really great.
That's awesome.
Awesome. It's really cool. Now, we were able to help out for that stressful time, but so are there any plans on trying to keep the studio going now?
Yeah, well, we are now looking for some way of continuing, like maybe going down a publishing route again. We've got a little bit of breathing space, and we've had quite a lot of people like message us with possible things we could do.
Wow.
So,
Wow,
Good.
awesome.
Good.
I think we will definitely be keeping hold of Laserdog, which was honestly something that was not an option. It's not so long ago. We thought we'd have to fold the company, and which means any proceeds that Deathrun would make, for example, would go to someone else. I don't know.
That's what I was wondering, right?
Quite weird,
Yeah,
the situation.
because
yeah.
if you're in bankrupt, you can't get the money, right? So I was curious about that.
Yeah, so
That's amazing that the community was able to help with that.
we can actually sleep at night.
Yeah,
And,
good.
yeah, we've got some options, whether it's doing contract work or whether it's making one of our own games, or both of us getting a job, or we'll still be around, and our games are going to exist still.
That's really cool because I've only heard about Laserdog games when Deathrun TV was announced on Stadia, and then I started doing some research and saw your other games. And when I played Catchy, I was like, oh my god, this is so polished. You guys are so good at what you're doing. So I'm just happy. Because I can't wait to see what you guys will do next, because you guys are really amazing, and you did some amazing stuff. So I can't wait.
Thank you so much.
To play Deathrun TV for sure. Now, in case that you still run in trouble in the future, us as a Stadia community, what can we do to help you out? Anything that we can do extra to make this, the best for you.
Just playing our games is great. Send us a message on Twitter and saying, hey.
I can imagine.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Just the most important thing, and the reason why we started this, is to make games that people like to play. So,
yeah,
that means the world to us. Just people playing our games, talking about them, even if they don't like the games. Send us a nice message saying what. Try and prove it.
Yeah,
we love the gaming community, and just being part of it is great. So just play and enjoy our content.
Awesome. That's good. That's good. I'm gonna let more questions being asked by MM2K, but first I just have to ask one question, and it's going to be constructive criticism, because I did play your demo game, and John know where I'm going.
Yeah, I know where you're going. Yep.
So I really, really enjoyed the demo, but I find that the character was swearing like every 2 seconds. Is this still happening in the current version of the game?
I believe it's quite toned down.
Okay.
We were working very hard when we added that feature.
Yeah.
A great way to vent, right?
Right.
It was fantastic. It was absolutely fantastic. It was exactly what we needed.
Yeah.
And we did it, and we were really enthused about it. And the guys at Merge found it hilarious, but they were like, we might need to tone it down a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, there was issues as well with some of the audio files where it sounded like they were saying things they weren't saying.
Oh.
So, it's just like some weird corruption in one of the files made it sound like it said something else, which was way too obscene for what we were going for.
Okay.
So we had this massive panic, and we went through and toned everything down a bit. The frequency is down, and we cut quite a lot of the lines because the age rating went right up.
Oh, I see.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah,
we for 2 evenings. Like one of our friends came and she did the female voice. So we've got Simon's the main character, and then our friend Kath is the female voice.
Oh, cool. I'm surprised that she wasn't called like Robin or something like that, you know? Since the main character is Simon, right? But,
that's a good point. Simon's also the host.
I see.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It was difficult to make their voices sound different.
Yeah.
Because obviously we can't afford to pay for voice actors, so we do it all ourselves.
Right, yeah.
I'm
very
the voice of the chickens.
Oh, really?
I'll judge that. I'll see how the chicken sounds. Make sure that they sound proper.
Now, Rob, could you give us a little sample of that voice of the chickens, just so we can hear?
Perfect.
That's basically all I did.
10 out of 10.
And then I was like, "It's going in. It's going in."
I love it.
Oh man! All right, so I'm gonna let MM2K take the stage and let him ask his questions.
Absolutely. Before I go to my interrogation questions, Rob, we do have a question in the chat. I don't know if somebody can highlight it. It's from Mr. 1030 Media Group, and I thought it was an important question to clarify now, before anyone else in the chat saw it and thought that the game was going to be released on Stadia a certain way. So I guess in relation to the financial situation with Laserdog, he asks, will the 70-30 revenue split from the Pro reach you in time? I'm sure your game will be one of the top Pro titles. It's not been confirmed at this time that the game is going to be a Stadia Pro title, correct?
I actually don't know. I'm so sorry. Just 1 second.
Oh, that's okay.
Oh, yeah, no problem. So while Rob is gone, actually, me and John talked about to Rob about that. And Rob is actually not aware of what Pro was, so he doesn't take care of that decision. It's actually Merged Game who's going to be
gotcha.
Okay. Into that.
Yep. With the publisher, absolutely. Okay.
Yeah. So Merge will handle all that. Yep.
Gotcha. So just so you guys are aware, it's not been confirmed at this time that that's how it's going to be released. We'll find out in due time, but I just didn't want anybody to think, oh, well, this is going to be a Pro title, you know. And if you want to support it, you know, whether it's a Pro title or not, the game is going to be available for purchase a la carte. So just wanted to make sure everybody knew that. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, I'm back.
No, it's okay.
Sorry, I've got my daughter here. My wife is working in London today, and my son is with my mum. But I just picked my daughter up from school. But the question about can I answer that question now? Sorry, were you on something else?
Yeah, the MM2K was talking about the Pro, right? The Pro titles.
Yeah, gotcha. Yep.
Yeah, I have to apologize because I actually I wasn't involved with that
part of the discussion.
This part of the way it's going to go onto Stadia. I know, so that question needs to go to Merge. I'm really sorry.
No, that makes perfect sense. Not a problem. Just wanted to make sure that people knew that was, you know, we didn't let people think that it was coming a certain way when it wasn't confirmed yet. All right, cool. So Deathrun TV was just announced as launching on June 1st. So can you tell us a little bit about the game?
I would love to. Yeah, it's well, it's a dream game for us to make. It's we like to make like silly games. So the game is like silly violent. I'm hoping Hazel's not looking at the screen. It's like violent, very very fast, and we like Splunky and Nuclear Throne and Binding of Isaac. So we kind of wanted to combine all these ideas together, and it's actually started off very very different to the end product. We wanted it to be much more like much more like Binding of Isaac, like kind of a slower paced, much more like it's hard to explain, but the way we found it most fun to play is just constantly firing, constantly dodging, like good weapons all the time, and we balanced that in a way to make so we couldn't do what Binding of Isaac does, where there's a million different items which do everything. Our upgrades had to work slightly different, because when you don't have the best guns, it doesn't feel as fun. And we were like, we want everyone to have everything from the get-go. I mean, some of the guns are like, they're kind of locked away right at the beginning, but you unlock them very, very quickly, and there's no kind of currency. You don't have to collect coins to get guns. They're just literally teleported into the studios, and you pick them up, fire them. When they run out of ammo, another one will spawn. So it kind of like, the game shaped itself based on how people were playing it. But yeah, it's a dream project for us.
Awesome. I'm in awe of just watching the game. I can't wait to get my hands on it. Just watching it on the screen, this looks so much fun. So people in the chat are like, yeah, I'm loving this too. I love what I see. It's a stick shooter. Do you think that's a good description of the game? And also, could you let us know what's the objective of the game?
Well, yeah, it's definitely a twin stick shooter. That's the way I play it. That's the way we started out. That's what we wanted to do. You can play it with mouse and keyboard on PC, and I think Stadia as well. Is that right?
Lisa, yeah.
Yes. Yeah. You can play mouse and keyboard on Stadia as well.
Yep.
Cool. I've answered that, and I've completely forgot what you said the next part was.
Oh no,
sorry, I'm getting a bit distracted.
No, it's okay.
That's all right.
Would your daughter like to say hi to everybody here? I mean, we took the trailer off there. We can say hi. No,
it's okay. It's fine.
Okay.
She is, yes. Fine. What was the second part of that question? I'm so sorry.
The second part of the question was, so what would you describe as the objective of the game?
Yes. The game is kind of like a game show setting. The working title of the game was actually Greed. So it's all.
Okay.
Gotcha. Interesting.
The theme song that I wrote. The lyrics are, what is it? You've got to think of the fortune. You've got to think of the fame. Rise to the test and do it again. It's all you wanted when you signed the contract in blood. So it's basically you're a game show contestant, which is just going to do anything for money and fame. I don't care if I lose my life, because if I lose my life, if I go through all that pain, they'll just reanimate me, and I'll come back and do it again. And it's greed. It's all for being an influencer and getting likes and stuff like that. So that's the kind of story we built around this. And your objective is to play the game and just get be good at the game and get likes and influence. But there is an ending, and then there's a secret ending, which I think by me saying that isn't secret anymore. I don't know. I don't know.
Oops.
Yeah. It's yeah. So yeah.
Awesome.
And you're the Death Runner in the game show.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Awesome.
Gotcha. So the soundtrack was brought up earlier as a means of gamers who wanted to help the studio out, and people really loved the purchasing it anyway because it was a good soundtrack. Who composed the soundtrack?
Yeah, that was me.
Oh wow!
Nice.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Thanks. So we do everything in house. So Simon does like the artwork, a lot of like the game design, as you'd say, and all that kind of stuff, the tweaking and the level making and stuff like that. And I do all the programming and the music, and we both do the sound effects. Simon did the vast majority of the guns in this game, and they just sound so good. He did such a good job of them. But yeah, the music is something I do for Laserdog. And it's like probably 10% of my job, but it's just the most fun. And I've got it here. So the entirety of the Deathrun soundtrack was written on this absolutely device.
Oh, wow!
An M8 tracker.
Wow!
It is just the most amazing thing. I think this is, it's just amazing. I absolutely adore it, and. So
wow!
Just so much fun, and the great thing as well is obviously we started this game in a pandemic. We had no childcare, and me and my wife both have full-time jobs, and I needed to work, and my son wouldn't sleep ever. He's not here, so I had to take him out in the car because he'd fall asleep in the car.
Okay.
And I would take this with me. So
In anger.
I would go and drive for about half an hour, pull up in some random place, put my headphones in, go on this. It's called an M8 tracker it's made by Dirty Wave. It's a really great game. The community is amazing. And it's just such a fun device. And yeah, I could just sit there and play it. It's got the same buttons as a Game Boy. So up, down, left, right, start, select, A, B. It's just the most fun.
It's cool.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
There it is.
Now, has there been any challenges in developing the game?
Yeah, there really, really has. Time management. On the practical side, time management, family, the pandemic, all that was just awful. But that's the same for everyone around the world. You could ask anyone there how their lives have been during the pandemic. But technical challenges with the game, performance was a real big issue on porting it to Nintendo Switch.
Oh, wow.
Really?
So many headaches. It was absolutely awful because it's a 2D game. Well, it's pseudo 3D. So many headaches trying to get that fixed, and it turned out to be the way the axes on the joypad were processed was taking about 40% of the CPU cycle.
Wow.
No way! Wow.
So, yeah.
Wow.
So I changed it rather than doing X and Y together. I changed it to do X and Y separately. Hey, you cheeky. So yeah, that did that, and that was a big headache. But I got there.
Wow.
That's amazing.
But yeah, like the game was completely flat to begin with, and we made. I came up with this idea to, rather than using a 2D camera, to use a 3D camera. And so imagine that's the floor, like a straight plane. The character, you'd think it's standing like that, but the character's actually standing like this.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Facing that way. So
Gotcha.
if you ever seen how...
That's like a Links Between World from Zelda.
Link Between World, that's exactly what
right, yep.
Oh, nice. Very nice.
Okay.
That's exactly how that game's done. And so it's all actually, the level is actually using a 2D tile sheet, but I've just moved them in 3D space. So it gives this, and the camera's field of view is insanely high. So it still looks 2D, but it has got this pseudo 3D, which I was really keen on getting right.
Yeah. I'm happy to hear. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, John.
Yeah, no worries. I was going to say, what engine is the game using? Is it built in Unity or?
It's Unity, yeah.
Unity. Okay, great.
Unity.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Which I love Unity.
I'm happy that you're thinking like that. You're thinking like that. You're not the only one who was struggling with time because of the pandemic and stuff. Because you can't just blame it on yourself, because it's normal, because there was so many challenges during the last 2 years, right? So it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I think everyone's in the same boat with that. Yeah.
Exactly.
Awesome. Now, can you tell us a little bit about how the decision was made to bring Deathrun TV to Stadia? And was this something Merge Games made? Or was it a decision they made? Or did Stadia approach you guys or approach them? How did that all pan out?
Well, originally, we just wanted to release it on everything we could, because we're making the game in Unity. So
gotcha.
It is quite a lot of work to make it work on another thing, another platform, but not nearly as hard as completely rewriting the game again, So we wanted it on everything, and we said to Merge, like, we would like it on this, we'd like it on that, and we agreed on PlayStation, Switch, Steam for both Mac and PC. And then we were thinking about other platforms, and I think it was Merge that suggested Stadia. Awesome. Quite late on in the development cycle, So we were very, very keen to get it on Stadia. So they brought in Pablo, which works as a like a porting house for Merge. So I just gave him access to my source code, and he did the heavy lifting of that. Well, 95% of the required work with like how the save systems work and things like that. And you know, I just had him on Skype, so we just chatted whenever he had something that he didn't quite understand about my very well written code. And yeah, he was a great guy to work with. So yeah, so I'd say Merge. It was Merge's decision, I think, if I remember rightly.
Awesome. Now, did your studio work on the Stadia version?
I helped with just very specific features like the saving, just helping out. Pablo did the vast majority of the work, and he's not part of Laserdog. He ports games for Merge.
Okay.
But so I helped out where I was needed, because the game was practically finished. There was a bit of a crossover where we were still adding features when it was being ported. But you know, we're sharing a repository on GitHub, so you know we can keep in sync with each other. You know, there's just a few things that I had to help out with, but you know, he had that under control.
Gotcha. Wow. And that kind of answers my next question too. So did you ever have to reach out to support for help?
No. Just on the porting front, Pablo did the PS5 ports as well.
Gotcha.
So that's it, I think. Oh, and other than our friend who did the female voice acting, voice shouting. I think I'm really sorry if I'm forgetting someone that did loads. No problem. But I think that's it. Like Merge really helped with stuff like the localizations, and actually they wrote when a boss comes up, the bosses say some text like "I'm gonna kill you." Much better than that. They wrote that, their team.
Oh wow!
Wow, that's awesome.
Between them wrote them, and then we put them in the game. So you know, there's a lot of collaboration going on.
Gotcha. Now, to your knowledge, were there any challenges in bringing Deathrun to Stadia?
It was just the saving system. That was I think the way it worked, because it's all cloud based, isn't it? So I think that was a bit tricky. And the way I initially wrote the save system was very much based on like a more traditional setup. So that caused Pablo quite a bit of headache, I think. But we worked together to get that solved.
Cool. All right. Well, Rob, again, that's it for my questions. I'm going to turn it over to John, but thank you guys so much for working on this game. I mean, this game looks fantastic. I can't wait to get a hold on it. And I'm so glad that the community was able to pull through and help the team out. And the best of luck to you guys, man. I hope everything just falls into your favor, because you guys deserve it looking at a product like this. Definitely. So
thank you. That means a lot.
That said, oh no, you guys deserve it. With that said, it's John. John, you got some questions, or were you going to hit up the chat?
Yeah. I'm gonna I've got a few questions for you, Rob, here, but I see some questions in the chat. Let's see. Nathan's asking, what music do you guys like to listen to in the office or when you're working on games?
Oh, that's such a good question. We listen to nothing but Chipsell for like 3 years straight. So there's Chipsell, Shirabon, Saber Pulse, Trash AE. They're all like in the chiptune scene. Absolutely love them. We spend hours and hours listening to music from Nintendo games, like all the Zeldas, all the Marios. Even like we put on Super Mario Land quite often and just listen to the Game Boy music for that. So many of them. But then we also listen to like film music, and then just like Arctic Monkeys. Sometimes Blink 182. Sometimes
there you go.
But at the vast majority of the time, we listen to instrumental stuff because it's just easy to concentrate. And the Minecraft soundtrack, the Skyrim soundtrack. So many good ones.
Definitely. Awesome. Now I know there was a question. Oh, of course, yeah, of course, right. You know, your own soundtrack as well. There was a question earlier, but I can't find it. What were some of the games that influenced influenced your I guess like were influence on Deathrun TV? Were there any games that like you thought of that you'd played previously before that helped influence the design on it?
Yeah, definitely. I mentioned before we played Nuclear Throne like religiously for quite a while, like probably a year, maybe up to 3 years. I don't know. Every time we had a lunch break or something, we played Nuclear Throne.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great game. We absolutely love it, but we kept thinking like, what if it was faster though? It could be faster, couldn't it? So we were there, and then we're like, rather than having like. Because in Nuclear Throne, I think the vast majority of the guns are like projectile based, and Simon is a really old school Doom, the original Doom fan. So we were like, well, why don't we have what they call raycast weapons, where you know you shoot it and it's an instant line, have it like that, so it's super fast, super responsive, and tie all that kind of thing together with roguelike elements like in Splunky. That's kind of where we were going. We were thinking like a top-down Doom, really. With Nuclear Throne, Splunky, Binding of Isaac kind of inspiration.
Okay, and actually, I did find the question there. It was I can't see. Was saying was Smash TV or Total Carnage, were any of those two games that have you played previously that might have been an influence on the design
Simon
of the
has.
game? Yes,
Simon played Smash TV. I actually haven't myself. But it's obviously like the title's a bit of a nod to that. I think it's quite a different game though. You know, it's a game show, and you know, it's a bit of a nod. But we have said those things while making it. We have said those things. Yeah,
exactly. Here's another question here, and then we'll go to the ones that I have here. Have you ever played on Stadia before, and if so, how do you feel about the platform?
I am very sorry to say I haven't, but I haven't had time to play any games really.
Yeah, exactly.
The only game I play is Factorio on my MacBook. I have got so many hours of Factorio. Every now and again, I turn my Xbox on, and I just within 5 minutes, I'm like, I just haven't got the energy yet. So hopefully that'll change. But I am a YouTube Premium subscriber, and I think I got offered a Stadia for free. Some hardware, so I'm going to take that up. And after reading these tweets and seeing how cool the community seems, I'm definitely getting involved in it.
Awesome!
It does seem like such a good platform, and I think when I manage to get some breathing room and actually sit down on my sofa and play some games again, I think that's where I'm going to go.
That'll be great.
Pick up a Stadia. So.
You know what would be cool, Rob? I mean, as someone who's really tight on time myself, what's cool about Stadia is that its convenience is like unparalleled to anything else. Like it's so easy to just pop in a game. So if you find something that interests you or find something that you like, you can just click a button and boom, 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 you're in there. And they have these trials too. So you just go to stadia.com even before you sign up on your account, get a 30-minute, 60-minute, 2-hour trial, and it can just pop right out of it. So just some
cool.
food for thought.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Alrighty, so let's talk a little bit more about Deathrun TV here. So we know the game has some cool Twitch integration features. Could you tell us a little bit about them and what sort of things like the audience will be able to activate with using these features?
Yeah, sure. It was an idea. I think it was myself. It was before we actually pitched the game to Merge. We were talking about it, and I had. just singing.
No, it's okay.
I had this idea. Like, I didn't actually know how it worked, but I thought if you could, I know other games do it, so I thought, you know, if you can read the chat in the game using the code, you could pass the messages and you can do whatever you want then. So we had these, and from the very beginning, we had this idea of having the voting option. So we get 4 options and people set A, B, C, or D. So that happens. So you get if you're not signed into Twitch, that still comes up because it's a game show, so it's the audience is in like the pretend audience in the game,
Right.
are doing the voting. But if you are signed into Twitch, it's the actual Twitch stream.
Okay.
Voting. And then we have there's an option where you can award the player likes.
Okay.
The best one, which I like, is where you can spawn yourself into the game. So it'll spawn a monster with like much more health, and it'll have your Twitch tag on it.
Oh, that's awesome.
So you can actually see you can't control the player, the monster that spawns, but it is in the game with your name on it and the person.
Wow. That's awesome.
So wow, that is cool. Yeah. So are these limited only to Twitch? Like, if someone was streaming it on YouTube, will it work on YouTube as well, or?
At present, it is just Twitch because
just Twitch.
That was the feature we did.
That was the feature. Okay.
There's a few more I think we could do, and I don't think it would take much effort. The only real development stuff to do is like the initial authentication. And if the messaging was the same, it would pass the chat the same. So I'll be very willing to add more platforms to that.
Oh, that's awesome. So like these features are the Twitch integration are very similar to a feature that Stadia has that's called crowd choice.
Yeah,
I know we spoke off the air that crowd choice isn't enabled in the Stadia game, but who knows, maybe down the line, because of course that's on YouTube as well. That could be, is there a possibility that could be added to the game, or?
Yeah, possibly. Like, we never say never. We're hoping we get some time to add more to this game, like not just stuff like more platforms and things like that, but maybe we add another game mode, or local multiplayer. So I'm hoping we get the chance.
Awesome. Yeah. Okay. So I guess we got another set of questions here. Can you tell us, like, are there different difficulty settings in the game? Like, maybe for those that want a little less Peppa Pig type experience.
You got a reaction there. So there's two game modes in the game. So there's I think we called it story mode. It's not really. What do we call it? Well, there's the original mode, which is like the roguelike. You've got to complete the game mode. Let's just call that mode A. And then there's arcade mode. So there's mode A and arcade mode. And arcade mode is endless. So you're in one room and you just have to stay alive as long as you can. Monsters spawn and spawn and spawn. And that has 3, maybe 4 difficulty settings. I can't remember what we put in, actually. So it starts off pretty difficult, and the other settings are just more difficult. So we didn't go easy because we don't do that. We like games to be tough. But the original mode, the mode A, is just one set difficulty, which is very difficult. But we were very keen to make it like accessible for people. It's our thing. Like, we like to play games which are really challenging, really difficult. That almost like frustrating level of challenge. So you have to master the skills and stuff. But it's not everyone's cup of tea. So we added a whole bunch of assist options where it just changes the difficult on a very granular scale. So the player doesn't start with enough health. You can increase that. If you think the enemy's got too much health, you can take that down.
Oh, nice.
You can make the enemies move slower. There's all sorts I put in there. I can't quite remember it all off the top of my head. But, you can customize the game to play how you want it. And there's a few presets, I think, I put in there.
Oh,
but yeah,
nice.
it's a whole page full of settings you can change. You can even change the whole game speed down as well.
Oh, nice. That's
very
awesome.
fast.
So when playing the game, do you prefer to play it with a mouse and keyboard or a controller? What is your preference?
Controller, absolutely,
Controller?
definitely a controller. I
Yeah.
I used to play PC games all the time as a kid with mouse and keyboard, but I just find this kind of game much more responsive with twin stick. And it was actually a problem when adding mouse and keyboard controls because I just never really played with them. So when I think when we released the first demo, the mouse and keyboard controls was absolutely awful. They were so bad. I never even tested it with a mouse, I don't think, because I use a trackpad. And it worked. So I was like, oh, it's fine. I'm sure it's fine. And the gun was aiming like this far above the cursor. It was really so sorry. Heartfelt sorry to anyone who played it like that. I did not mean to neglect mouse and keyboard players. I am sorry, but we fixed that. So it's much more responsive now. But yeah, I prefer playing with a controller.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So designed with a controller in mind, but you can use a mouse and keyboard, and it's those controls have been refined for those. Okay, that's good to hear for those that are interested. Do you know? And again, I guess you may or may not know, but like, what is the target resolution and frame rate that the game is running at on Stadia? Do you know?
Well, it's 60 frames per second. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I'm not sure about the resolution. I don't know how that works.
No, that's fine. Yeah, either be 1080 60 or 4K 60 or 4K 30, something like that.
Well, it's 4K 60 on my Mac. So it's possible. So
yeah. I mean, there's just people in the community that are that like those little tidbits of information. So we don't have long to wait. Anyways, June 1st is only a couple weeks away. So
when you find out, let me know what resolution it is.
So we see there as well. So I see. So that's all the questions that I've got for you. But I see in the chat here, when we were talking about Stadia, Nathan says, I'll buy Rob a copy of Enter the Gungeon on Stadia and a copy of Peppa Pig for his daughter.
Oh,
so there you go.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And she'll be able to play Peppa Pig on the iPad as well. So,
it's so buy a Peppa Pig game. Do you want to say hi? No, she don't want to say hi.
So let's see here. We got some more comments. Just going through them here as we've been talking. Great interview. Can we expect? Oh, never mind. That's okay. Great interview there. Let's see. Crowd choice. There we go. Again, Nathan's saying that I'll just send him play credit and trust him.
Okay.
Wow.
So Nathan, if you're serious about that, just hit me up on the DMs and I'll get you in contact with Rob here, and we definitely can make that happen. Let's see. And again, just a reminder, everybody, we're giving away 5 copies of the soundtrack. So hashtag Deathrun TV to get in there. Let's see. Here's somebody else saying, Peppa Pig is my favorite game. I streamed that game, Peppa Pig, on Stadia. I streamed it from start to finish. I had a fun time. I mean, I'm 44 years old. I know the game's target is for 3 or 4 years old, but it was still fun. Peppa did get annoying a couple of times, but other than that, it was fun. Oh, gosh. Okay. Yeah, so I don't know if anybody else has any other questions for Rob here. Go ahead and post them in the chat here. Rob, we really do appreciate you coming on the show here. We know you have a lot of things going on in your life, and we just really appreciate you being able to take the time and come out here. And it was so great to hear too that the Stadia community was able to help with your rent and help the company, just go on there. And we're very hopeful about the future for Laserdog.
Yeah, thank you so much.
You as well.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. All right.
I do have, while we're waiting for questions, if anyone has one in the chat, I have one last one for Rob. So Rob, just from a development standpoint, there's a lot of people in our community, or a lot of new developers coming to the community, being introduced to the platform that, you know, they're still a little bit wet behind the ears, and you guys are a lot more experienced, and you know, and it shows in the product too. What would be some words of wisdom or some guidance or some big do's or don'ts for other aspiring indie developers?
Yeah, it's a good question. I would say start small. Don't try and make Skyrim as your first step. And try and make something you enjoy making, because it's really hard to finish something you're not enjoying, because it's a lot of work at the beginning. The thing I found, like, the learning curve is really, really steep to begin with. And the most important thing you can learn at the beginning is which questions to ask, because you're so lost you don't even know what question to ask. So, and how to use Stack Overflow to find answers to stuff. You know, like, it's really simple things, but the thing that's great now is YouTube. There's so many great people making great tutorials. Off the top of my head, there's a guy called channel's called Code Monkey, and like, that content is so much better than anything I learned at university. You know, there's so many great people putting this content out there for free. I mean, they've got Patreons and stuff, and they deserve any money they get for it. You know, it's great, but you know, you can access it for free. It's just the most incredible thing. So I would say get involved in communities like on Reddit and stuff like that, and Discords. So you have people to back you up when you're really stuck, when you're getting started. Look on YouTube and stay happy. Try and make something you like, and then most importantly, finish something.
And don't add too many additional features, right?
Oh no, you never learn to not do that.
Because there's always, you know, I can imagine while you're working out, there's always something. Oh, this would be cool if we could do this, and then it goes into that. But then you've got to reel yourself back in sometimes to say, okay, you know, just like you mentioned there, you know, we've got this amount of time to work on it. Adding these features would be an extra 2 to 3 months, and you have to take all that into consideration. That's good to hear. We have a couple of questions here in the chat. Anthony is asking, have you heard of another game that's kind of similar to Deathrun TV? It's called Death Carnival. It's also a twin stick shooter.
I actually have not. I will check it out though, because sounds right up my street. So
exactly. Awesome. Will there be leaderboards for each of the modes, maybe across all platforms, or are they just, if there is, just platforms?
I am trying to think. There are definitely leaderboards on Steam. I actually don't know the answer to that. There's leaderboards on Steam, and there's achievements on Steam, and there's achievements on PS5. Sorry.
Yep.
I'm sorry, I can't answer that.
Okay. No, that's okay. Yeah. I mean, if you don't know that, that's fine. So that
leads a while since we implemented all that kind of stuff.
Okay. That leads into another question. Do you know, are there going to be achievements on Stadia as well?
That is a very good point. Like I say, Pablo did the actual porting of it. And I know he added them to PS5, and we actually didn't speak about it on Stadia. So I am, you know, I should have come back prepared, really.
No, it's okay. I mean, you can't know everything, right? So that's totally fine. Here's another question here, and again, if you don't know, this is fine. This is just, you know, people in the community are interested. So the question is, you developed the game, and Merge Games used Pablo to port it. If there's any additional downloadable content or patches, will that be up to Merge and Pablo to port over to Stadia as well, or?
Well, it's not really a port, because it's the same code base.
Right.
So when we say port, it's mainly like adding in the conditional features to make it
Right.
run on both
Gotcha.
platforms. So, for
Right.
example, if me and Simon decided to work on Deathrun for 3 months and add a whole new game mode, it would work.
Oh,
So
gotcha.
with very minimal effort, because all that work has been done
It's
now.
been done.
It's the
Okay.
same code
Okay.
base. So yeah,
Yeah.
if anything gets added, I'm pretty sure it would have feature parity on all platforms.
Okay.
That's the way I'd want it anyway. So
Yes, exactly. Alrighty. Well, I think that is going to wrap it up here for the questions from the chat. Again, Rob, really do appreciate you taking the time here. Before we let you go, because we don't need to keep you here once we give away the games or the soundtrack. Sorry, because that we know you're very busy here. But I just want to go ahead and end the poll here real quick. We had a poll asking people watching. Let me bring it up here so that we can get this going. All right, we had the poll, and the poll asked, what excites you the most about Deathrun TV? The options were 1, it's coming to Stadia, 2, epic boss fights, 3, kick-ass weapons, or 4, leveling up your likability. And so we're going to end that poll here now. And let's see, the results were probably not a surprise to you. The first thing what excites people about Deathrun TV is that it's coming to Stadia. 76% of our votes here. We had 51 people vote. Kick-ass weapons was the second. Leveling up your likability and the epic boss fights rounded out our poll there. So it's pretty interesting to see. We can't wait. There's so many people that are really looking forward to this game, and it was great. I did see a couple of comments in there mentioning about, it's great to see that it's coming out so soon and not months or next year, and we're really looking forward to seeing all the fruits of all your hard work that both you and Simon have put in over the past 2 years there to bring this game to us here. And again, thank you so much. We really do appreciate it. And we'll be in touch, Rob, here. And I'll talk with you real soon.
No, thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Good one, Rob.
Yep. Let's get rid of Rob here. Let's do this. Let's get us going. All right. Wow.
Awesome,
that
man.
was awesome.
Yeah.
It certainly was.
Another great interview. Yep.
Yeah. Learned quite a bit about Rob, and just it's always good to see and hear about, what developers go through in making these games. I mean, Rob's went through some pretty tough times, him and Simon.
Exactly. Yep.
And, this is what kind of boils my blood when we see people be so negative on social media towards games and call developers lazy and things like that. People don't understand that there is someone else or a group of people tied to that product behind the screen.
Exactly.
And sometimes it's out of their control as to what happens. But hopefully, this just helps, maybe some of those people understand the woes of game development. It's not all, fun and games and you just go in there, program, come home, and you're good. You see Rob mentioned that they spent hours and hours the last 6 years. They've spent probably more time together with his partner there, Simon, in the studio than his family itself. So
yeah, exactly.
So really looking forward to it. And again, just to confirm, the game is coming out June the 1st on Stadia. There is no announcement yet or any type of confirmation that it will be a Stadia Pro title. So hold steady on that. Although I definitely would love that to be the case. We'll see come June the 1st what Merge and Stadia agreed upon here. Fingers crossed. But let's go ahead and give away. We've got 5 copies of the soundtrack, Deathrun TV. And I see we've got quite a few people entered in here. So we're going to go ahead and give away our first copy here. And as always, once your name has been picked, you've got 60 seconds to respond in the chat to claim your prize, and then I'll just put up the contact details here. Contact me within 24 hours. Either email me, Twitter, or Discord, and we'll get those codes over to you so you can enjoy the soundtrack before the game launches.
Awesome.
Alrighty, ready, and here we go. MM2K. Here's our first winner is Stadia Krampus.
Oh wow! Okay,
Stadia
all right.
Krampus. If you're here, you are the winner.
Yes.
Of the soundtrack of Deathrun TV.
I'll be watching. Make sure to see if we hear from
you'll
Krampus.
be watching here and see if Stadia Krampus. So what we'll do, since we've got 2 eyes on, there we go, Stadia Krampus. There's our first winner here. Congratulations. Let's go ahead and have winner number 2 here. Lo-Fi Monk. So Lo-Fi Monk here is in the chat.
All right, Lo-Fi, let us know you're still here.
Yeah, you'll be able to claim your prize and be rocking out to the soundtrack of Deathrun TV here later today.
Yep.
So hopefully Lo-Fi's here to claim prize. I don't see anything yet.
I don't see anything
yet. So MM2K.
There you go.
There we go. Lo-Fi. I'm trying to fill a little bit of time here, but Lo-Fi's right there. Saves the day.
Hey, look, John, this soundtrack is in hot demand, so these people are not wasting any time.
That's right.
Despite the YouTube delay, they're not wasting any time letting us know that they're here.
They aren't. Mr. 1030, the only Mr. 1030.
Yeah, I think he said he had to step away though.
Oh, you know
said
what?
That earlier.
I'll contact him.
Yeah,
just because Mr. 1030 has been a tremendous help behind the scenes here. So I want to give him the benefit of the doubt. So shout out to Mr. 1030. Congratulations. We've got 2 more copies of the soundtrack to give away here.
All right.
Sean L. You are our next winner. Yeah.
All right,
so
Sean.
Let's see if Sean's here in the chat.
Comment. Hopefully he's still here.
Yeah, let's see. Hopefully. Yeah, I know that there's some people, and that was so good. Such a nice gesture. There we go. Of Nathan to offer those games over to Rob. And actually, I did get a message from Nathan saying, "Let me know the details, and I'll get that stuff over to Rob." So Rob will be gifted Enter the Gungeon and Peppa Pig for his daughter from Nathan.
That's awesome.
So a big shout out to that. Yeah. The community, again, just coming together and helping support everybody. And that's what it's all about. You know, I mean, like, if you can help those out in need, because you know what, you never know when you'll be the person in need, right? So you've always got to have, your friends there beside you.
And I just want to add to that. I know we're running short on time. Guys, you guys do such a fantastic job supporting developers, raising awareness to the platform. It's unique and it's not done anywhere else. But just because what you do is different doesn't mean that it's wrong. It's actually a great thing. So keep it up and don't let anybody else tell you otherwise. We just do things differently over here on the side of the track. So just great stuff to see. Great stuff to see.
Just like MM2K said, don't let anybody ever tell you what you're doing is wrong, that you're doing Google's job for them, because we've heard time and time and time again from developers that they love this positive vibe and this shout out and the support on social media for them and Stadia itself. So it's great. Keep up the work, and it's just totally amazing. That's just one of the many things that I love about the Stadia community, and it's so awesome. It is so awesome. Made so many friends here, but without me blabbing on, we'll choose our. Well, look at this. We've got Nathan. You know what?
Look at that. Look how things work full circle.
Yeah, I think it's only right that we give that to Nathan as well. Just because I know he had to run for a meeting about 20 minutes ago, so he's not here. But thank you. Yeah, thank you so much, everybody. We really do appreciate it. A big shout out to Ninja Guy X, who was able to come on the show with us here. Ninja Guy is, getting some nice rest and relaxation. And he said, John, you know what? I love this game so much. Do you mind if I come on for a little bit to participate in the interview? And I said, you know what, Ninja Guy? It's the door's always open. So it was so great to see Ninja Guy X here. And, who knows? In the future, might see some more of him sprinkled here and there as he just, relaxes and rejuvenates and takes care of things there. And again, shout out MM2K. Appreciate you being there, being able to partake in this and all these interviews here. It's so fantastic.
They're fun, man. I love them. You guys haven't learned yet. Like, don't let this crazy guy in. No. Hey, John, if I could just interject real quick before we go off, shameless plug. I'm sorry. I'll leave some money out there for you, John, for letting me advertise on your fantastic platform. But later today, SSC podcast, we're coming back from our spring break, so come and join us. We're going to talk about this interview, the great works by the community, and just so much more stuff that's been happening in the Stadia space. So come and join us. You know what I mean? It's going to be a celebration of this interview and a whole bunch more, because this was another fantastic one. Definitely.
Yeah, this is so awesome. And again, a big shout out to each and every one of you in the chat here, watching it live or the replay. I mean, everyone is well appreciated. We do really do appreciate all that love and support. And again, if you enjoyed today's stream and our talk with Rob, please hit that like button. If you haven't already, subscribe. Always some great Stadia content on its way. And again, just thank you so much, everybody. Have a wonderful rest of the day, and we will see you all again real soon. Take care.